Hello and welcome to the Selene River Press author videos. My name is Danielle. I am the managing editor for Selene River Press. Today I'm really excited to talk to author Monica Corrado. She is the GAPS chef, the author of The Complete Cooking Techniques for the GAPS Diet. Today's going to be really fun. We're doing a little different of a video in which she's going to give us a live demonstration on whey, on all things whey, how to create it, why it's important. It's going to be an awesome quick video to give a little bit of knowledge behind that. So Monica, thank you so much for being here today. Hi, how are you?
I am well, Danielle. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thrilled to be here.
Good. We're so happy to have you. We love having videos. I'm not going to talk much more. I just want to jump right into your knowledge and the wonderful video you're going to give us. So please take it away.
Okay. So hi, everyone. I love to teach, so I'm thrilled. I was thrilled when Selene River Press and Danielle asked me to do a little demo for you. It's my favorite place to be, in the kitchen. And so I thought we'd start with something that's really basic to a lot of traditional cooking techniques, certainly to the GAPS diet. And I thought I'd start with whey. What is whey? Well, here's a jar of whey. I'm going to show you how to actually drip this, where can we get it from, etc. So whey is what we call a simple protein. Everyone's looking for more protein these days, and probably you've seen protein powders of whey, which is like no-go. We really don't want to be eating processed foods whenever we can. We want to avoid them. So it's a very easy thing to make your own whey. You can drip it from yogurt. You can drip it from kefir or kefir, K-E-F-I-R. You can allow raw milk to separate, and that's how you can get your own whey. It will be live. It will be full of beautiful, good bacteria. It will be, as I said, a simple protein, and it's really, really easy to do. The other thing I wanted to talk about in terms of whey is not only do we use it as a starter for things, we use it, you can make your own yogurt by dripping whey. You can make your own cultured cream by dripping whey, using that as a starter. So it has this dual kind of possibilities. There's two things about whey that I love. One is, as itself, it is high protein, and that is a standalone. You could drink it all day long. It's also really wonderful to firm the bowels or firm the stool. I know we're in a kitchen, but in the GAPS diet, we talk about things like high protein dairy helps with people that have diarrhea, have loose stools. You could sip whey all day. It's a home remedy. If you get a stomach bug, sip whey all day. It's a home remedy. It'll really help repopulate your gut with beautiful lactic acid bacteria, and protein. And it's very easily absorbed by the body. So that is cool. And then there's that second piece, which is to use whey as a starter. So you can use whey as a standalone. It's got lots and lots of incredible attributes just as a standalone, and also as a starter or inoculant to cultured dairy, to make lacto-fermented vegetables like sauerkraut or pickles or anything else that you'd like to ferment, tonics. And whey is also used to make grains more digestible, believe it or not.
Oh, I didn't know that one. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, whey is really, really an amazing substance. And as I said, here it is. It's just sitting here in a jar. I keep some in my refrigerator. You can keep whey in the refrigerator in a glass jar up to 6 months.
Wow, that's incredible.
And that's wonderful. So just drip a little whey, which I'll show you in a moment, or let raw milk separate, only raw, never pasteurized. You don't let pasteurized milk sit on the counter. It will putrefy. And then that will be really bad for you. So
it doesn't sound pleasant.
No, beautiful raw milk only can separate to get you this whey. So in any case, yeah, we use whey in traditional cooking. Weston A. Price uses whey. Nourishing Traditions Cooking, pardon me, the Nourishing Traditions Cookbook has whey everywhere, soaking grains, soaking beans, making ferments, making, yogurt, and drinking it as a tonic itself. It's a wonderful, wonderfully versatile, as I said, thing. And yes, in terms of making grains more digestible, that oatmeal everybody loves to eat? Yeah. It's really, quote unquote, heart healthy. It is. It's also a nervine. It's also, meaning it calms the system. I think we all should be eating oatmeal right now, unless you have a leaky gut, in which case you would not. But you would, no grains if you have a leaky gut, no grains on GAPS. But if you're not on GAPS and you're just trying to, eat really well, you can soak those oats in whey and overnight, and all of a sudden they are digestible. And they are so much better for you. They don't spike your blood sugar. It's an amazing thing. So anyway, just wanted to bring that up too. So, and if people want that information, they can get that on my beautiful bean and grain chart that is also available through Selene River Press. Yes. Okay.
So it's a beautiful chart. Yes.
Yes, it's a beautiful chart. Okay, thanks for that. So let's go ahead and get started. Easy peasy. Again, what you need is some kind of vessel for catching the whey. I have a 4-cup or 1 quart liquid measure. You could also use a bowl. You could use a pot. You could use a jar, whatever. What you want to do is get something that will fit a strainer, or otherwise known as a fine mesh sieve. And a fine mesh sieve, is hopefully, or try to find one that's conical. See how it comes to kind of a point? There's a lot of strainers out there that are just round, but you will allow if you can get one that's pointed, the gravity will make the whey drip faster, if you will. So just get a fine mesh sieve. You must then take that and line it with something. So what can you line this with? Because the yogurt would go straight through there, as you can see me, right? So we need to line it, because what we want to do is catch all of the milk solids in the top, and we want to allow all of the whey to drip to the bottom. This is the liquid. And really, you want to make sure that to the extent possible, you catch as many of the milk solids as possible. Okay, we really want to catch them, because we don't want them in the whey, because then if you try to use it for fermentation, then you've got milk solids in your ferment, and things get a little wacky. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally does.
So let's line it with something. Go ahead.
Is there a reason? So does it matter if the sieve is made of, so your sieve looks more like a metal material. I've seen some that are more of like kind of softer, almost like a plasticky material. Does it matter which kind you use if you're covering it?
No, it really doesn't matter which kind you use if you're covering it, for sure. I mean, when I teach, I try to tell people, keep as much plastic out of your life as possible, especially your kitchen, because of endocrine disruptors, phthalates, all sorts of things. But this would be something where the plastic would not be touched, as you said, be lined, and pardon me, and also it won't be heated. So plastic usually,
that's a good point.
In many cases, the problem with plastic is that it is heated. And when it's heated, then we have things that leach and things. Yeah, no good. So this is metal. It's an old timey one. I've been doing this for a long time. Love this guy. You almost can't find it anywhere. That's why I said, if you can find a conical one, get it, because it's important. It'll just help the dripping process happen a little more easily. So you want to line it with something. Most people are going to say, and even I say, you could line it with cheesecloth. So cheesecloth, this is not bleached cheesecloth, so it's not white. It's kind of beige color. You can also see through this. Hello, Danielle. In any case. But cheesecloth is also pretty porous. So we want to do several layers. We're going to do several layers of cheesecloth. This is actually already doubled the way that they had it packed. And then I'm doubling it again. So this is actually 4 layers of cheesecloth right here. I'm going to put it in there. And then I'm going to that's probably going to be enough for now. When you're using raw milk yogurt, okay, when you're using raw milk, homemade yogurt made from raw milk, or homemade kefir or kefir, that will be far more runny than something that you buy in the store. Okay. And so what you'll need to do is really line that. Often people will just, line it with this much, which is 4 layers, and then they'll see, oh, I've got all this white stuff in the bottom. What happened? Well, what happened was the yogurt went through. So because there are too many holes in the mesh. So if you're using raw milk yogurt or raw milk kefir that you made yourself, you're going to want to use double that amount. Or I often tell people, get one of grandma's, this is literally one of my grandmother's napkins. Get one of grandma's napkins, right? Or great grandma's napkins. It's just a beautiful linen napkin, right? It has not, I'll say it differently. Make sure to wash your napkins in things that don't have smelly detergent if you're going to do this.
Okay.
Right? Because that would be yucky, right? No Tide. Obviously, I hope you don't have it in their house anyway, but a nice green detergent that has no scent if you're going to do this. Yeah. Okay. The great idea about using, why it's such a great idea to use an old linen napkin is because it's so much thicker, right? You just need one layer. Nothing's going through here. Bye, Danielle, right? Like you can't see me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a great use, bring grandma back in the kitchen, use something that she had that you're not going to use anymore. It might be frayed, it might be stained. We don't care. It still has a great use as being able to drip whey. So I encourage you to do that. I also, in my book, which I think you already, yes, you already did. So also in this book, this is the culturing dairy part of the book. It's a big segment of the book. I do talk about dripping whey and all the ways to drip whey, or all the methods, right, to drip whey, and why, the difference between raw, the difference between pasteurized, et cetera, how to do it, why to do it, et cetera. One of the things that I say, I give you options. Use cheesecloth to drip whey. Use an old linen towel or napkin. That's what I just showed you. You can also use a nut milk bag, as long as the nut milk bag is not made of plastic mesh, because it will not be, it'll just be too porous. Everything will just run through. So if you have an old nut milk bag that was made of fabric, those are much better. Or you can find one. Those are much better to use. So you have some options, but you just need some kind of vessel to hold the whey. Again, it could be a one of these lovely liquid measures. It could be a bowl. It could be a jar. You just want to make sure that this fabulous strainer fits in it, so it'll catch your yogurt or your kefir. Yeah. Okay, and then you line it. So I've lined it with cheesecloth, so that's good. So I'm just going to show you how to, so this is some yogurt. And how do you do this? Well, you open the jar, or you open the container. Maybe you're using yogurt that you bought in the store. Perfect. What kind of yogurt do you want to drip? Organic? Absolutely. There's just too much garbage, I will say. I'll keep it clean. But too much really not good stuff, right, in conventional milk at this point. So, and I could go way into that if you want to, but we won't go there right now. So I do cover that in the book also. Why organic, why pasture raised. So you're looking for organic, grass fed, or pasture raised. It'll say that right on the label if you're buying yogurt to drip. It should be whole milk, none of this skim business. We don't want skim yogurt. We want whole milk yogurt. Why? I always say God doesn't make skim milk cows.
I like that.
Right? I mean, right? And why? Because we need the fat to absorb the calcium from yogurt, right? We all, hopefully everybody has got that by now. Ditch that skim milk, 0%, whatever yogurt you're eating. Get some full fat, organic, grass-fed, no fillers. You don't want any pectin in there. You don't want any carrageenan in there. You don't want any locust bean gum, carob bean gum, Oy, 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 the things they're putting in yogurt these days to thicken them so that you like the mouthfeel. Interesting. I wonder why. It's another story for another time. But okay, so what are you looking for? If you're buying yogurt, you want organic, grass-fed, whole milk, right? Plain, right? Not strawberry, blueberry, whatever, pomegranate, and no fillers. That's what you're looking for if you're going to buy it. Good?
So this will work with non-raw milk yogurt as well. Obviously the raw milk is better, but if I don't have access to this, I can get, obviously we don't want pasteurized, but it will still work.
Absolutely. Yes. You can get whey from commercial yogurt. You can even make your own yogurt with, pasteurized milk if you need to. And all those things I've gone through in the book about how this, why that, all those things. But yes, you always raw milk will be nutritionally superior than pasteurized. That's just kind of a rule. But if that's all you can get, maybe you're traveling, right? Maybe you don't have access to your cows that are, down the road, or the cow share, or you don't live in one of the states that has raw milk available.
That's what I was thinking.
Right? No problem. You can get the best quality you can find, buy it at the store. If you meet those criteria, that's what you're looking for. Good?
Awesome. Yes, I'm excited to see this.
So easy peasy. What do we need? A spatula, right? Some yogurt, right? And then in we go. We're literally just going ahead, and it's really not difficult at all. So I'm just going ahead and emptying out the yogurt, putting it into the strainer that's lined. And this will take, depending on the thickness of the yogurt, it will either come through quickly or not quickly. It'll kind of sit there for a little while. So the yogurt that I used was very thick. So we're not sure how fast it's going to come through. Let's even see if we're starting. Not yet. So this might have been a yogurt that would have been better with less cheesecloth, right? But literally what will happen is it'll just start dripping through, and then it will go ahead into here, and it will come out like this. And this is whey that I've stored. Still smells like nothing.
Really?
What does that mean? So it should not have a strong smell at all. Remember, we're dripping yogurt. Yogurt doesn't have a smell really.
No, that's fair.
So it should smell like yogurt or smell like almost nothing. Once it starts smelling stronger, as it ages, it will smell stronger. And then you will need to, you either use it because you don't mind that it's gotten a stronger flavor, or you can go ahead and start over, get another batch. But again, yogurt shouldn't smell like anything. If you were in my class right now, I'd give you some to drink, so you could taste it and you would see that there's no smell, no flavor. Just, if you like the taste of yogurt, you'll like the taste of whey. It's very mild, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're still watching here. Do we have?
Can you help it along the way? Like, is that something that you should take your spatula and kind of squish it in, or is that a no-no?
Well, I mean, we could. This is really just about the texture of this yogurt. I'll show you how incredibly thick it is. This is not a Greek yogurt. Remember, Greek yogurt, or what they sell as Greek yogurt sometimes, is this yogurt, regular yogurt that's been strained for the whey to be, right? So they're collecting the whey. Oh. And they're giving you the yogurt with no whey in it. That's Greek yogurt. Sometimes they're using actual cultures that are, that are from Greece, right? To make a certain flavor. Greek yogurt has a certain flavor, and sometimes they're really not. They're just allowing things to, they're straining out the whey so that it's thicker and you get more yogurt. If that makes sense.
And they always tote that, I've kind of thought as Greek yogurt as being higher in protein, higher in this, but if you're taking out the whey, wouldn't that be the opposite?
Well, it's going to be higher in casein, which is the other protein. So whey is they are absolutely, you're correct. They're taking out whey, which is the simple protein. So milk from mammals has whey and casein, two different types of protein in it. In general, two categories. And whey is that simple protein, very easy, meaning simple in structure, easy for the body to absorb, right? Most people that have dairy issues or sensitivities do not have a problem with whey. Some people do, most people don't. Most people have problems with casein, which would be in that great big Greek yogurt that you're having. Yeah. What is it? It's a lot of casein. Well, a lot of people have a problem with casein. Casein is a long chain, or should we say complex is a better word. It's a complex protein that if you have any issues in your gut, meaning your gut's not working optimally, there's damage, it's just not doing what it's supposed to be doing because you have, increased intestinal permeability, which has, we call in slang leaky gut, right? You won't be able to break down that casein. You won't be able to digest it. So casein is usually the issue when people have allergies. They say, I have a dairy allergy, which is different than a sensitivity. But they'll say, I have a dairy allergy. They'll be allergic to the casein. And so that's why there's been a lot of talk now about everyone moving, not everyone, but people moving to just certain breeds of cows that produce a casein that is easier for humans to digest.
Okay.
Those are the traditional milking cows, if you will. They are Jerseys, they are Guernseys, they are Swiss Browns, they are Ayrshires. They are the traditional dairy cows. In the US, we've gone to lots and lots of black and white cows, which has been, even an organic company, which I will not name, uses a black and white cow on all of their organic dairy. If you think for a moment, you'll know who it is. And black and white cows are not something that we really want to be drinking. I mean, milk from black and white cows. Those are Holsteins, and they are bred for volume and not for quality. And the casein tends to be harder on the system.
Wow, that's fascinating. So I want to come back to, we were talking about how, once you strain it, that's Greek yogurt. So once you have this bottle, this jar right here, completely strained, what do you do with that yogurt that's left? What do you do?
So we call it, so Dr. Natasha in the GAPS diet, she calls it cottage cheese, which is not something we would call it in the US. Cottage cheese is a totally different thing that we think about, when you just think about what cottage cheese looks like. I call it yogurt cheese. Makes sense, right? I made yogurt, I dripped out the whey, I've got cheese. You could also call it, it also could be kefir cheese or kefir cheese, right? If you use kefir and you drip that, which is also something you could do. And that is, you can use it. You can eat it. You can eat it just like cream cheese. It's more like cream cheese to me.
Interesting. Okay.
And so it's spreadable. It's usable if you want to make a cream cheese pie for dessert, right? With a little vanilla, little maple syrup, whip it up, put it in a nice graham cracker or nut crust. Yeah. Yummy. Awesome. Use it on your, if you eat bagels, which I hope are sourdough, or whatever, or you eat nut bread that you make yourself, or sourdough bread, whatever, you can use it as cream cheese. So cream cheese right on top, plain. You can sweeten it, as I said, with honey, maple syrup, a little bit of vanilla. That makes it, more of a sweet cheese. And then, or you could use it savory. You could add some roasted garlic. You could add some sun-dried tomatoes that were reconstituted, right? Idea. And now you've got a yummy savory thing, right? So it's not that you drip this and you're like, okay, I've got my whey. Toss what's in the cloth. We don't want you to toss what's in the cloth. We want you to use it.
Wonderful.
And that'll save both. So I said, just the whey will stay in your fridge, your refrigerator, up to 6 months. And you don't want it, if it starts molding, that means you contaminated it with your hand. You either double dipped, you drank right out of the jar and then put it back in. Not a good idea. This is called contamination, right? So if you get mold and you want to toss it, not worth saving. And then this beautiful cheese, you'll be able to save in a glass jar, tight lid on there, for as long as a month, a couple of weeks. I hope you eat it faster than that, right? But if you ever see any pink, usually it'll be pink mold that'll happen on a cheese. And if you see that, just toss it out. Not worth getting sick.
These are amazing tips. This has been awesome to learn. Now, I've had plenty of questions that I've been asking you. If any of our viewers have questions as well, how can they reach out to you?
They can get to my website, simplybeingwell.com, on a contact form. That would be great. And they can send me an email, monica@simplybeingwell.com. Happy to hear from them. Definitely. And they can check out on my website, my new classes are on there. The way to get this beautiful book is on there. And all of my Facebook groups and things like that is all available on the website. So we do have some. It's little, but it's dripping. It's coming through. And again, do not be, I don't know if you can see that, but it's dripping. I can see it. Do not be discouraged. It will take time. We didn't even talk about that. How much time? Well, if it's a thick yogurt, like you see right here, this could take 12 hours, 24 hours to really, you want to leave it out.
So you don't need to refrigerate it.
Nope. You can leave this out on the counter. I like to put a plate or something on top, or just to keep physical contaminants out, like dust or I don't know, just keep it clean. But this can stay out on your counter for 24 hours.
So even like longer, pasteurized yogurt, I can leave it on the counter?
Pasteurized yogurt is full of good bacteria that would be protective.
Awesome.
Yes. And so you could leave this out on the counter, and the longer you leave it out, the more whey will drip, the more firm the cheese in the top will get. So it's all up to you. If you want to drip it for 8 hours and it's a little bit creamier and that's good for you, yay. If you want to make it more of a firmer cheese and you want to go longer, yay, no problem. All of it's good. And again, just pour the whey into a jar, put it in the fridge, and you're good to go.
Awesome. This has been an amazing video. I feel like I've even learned so much watching this. I'm just thinking about going and getting my organic yogurt and trying it. So thank you so much for this video. I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. As Monica said, please make sure you check out her book, The Complete Cooking Techniques for the GAPS Diet, which is full of this and so many other amazing recipes and information. It's wonderful. I appreciate you being with us, Monica. We're excited to do more videos like this in the future. Please reach out to her if you have any questions for her directly. She would love to get in contact with you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.